What is your take on where we are today ahead of this monumental summit?
Bo, it is a remarkable day, to say the least. Look at the irony of it all. Meeting in Alaska, former Russian territory. Russia lost the Crimean War in 1867 and sold Alaska to us for $7.2 million, 15 cents an acre. And then he invites Mr. Putin back to Alaska with all those Russian Orthodox churches sprinkling the landscape. It really is an ironic place to meet. And Alaska, the center of the universe for the Alaska Accords. Look, my advice to people watching today is the same as it's been for a while. Do not underestimate Donald Trump as president of these United States. 59% of the poll I just saw today don't believe he's going to get anything out of today. Maybe that's true. Maybe it is. But he's there. He's on the ground. He's present. He's working. And like he said on Air Force One, there's nothing in this for him. He could be working on the economy or the border or what happens next with investment in the United States or 100 other things that he could be doing in the Oval Office today. But instead, he's trying to end a war that kills 5,000 people a week, 20,000 people a month. More people have died in this war than died in the first 2 years of the war in Europe in 1939 and 1940. Think about that. Put that into perspective. That's the war he's trying to end now. Having said that, I don't believe Crimea is ever going back to Ukraine. It's been Russian territory since 2012. I don't believe the Donbass is going back to Ukraine. I believe that this is the same situation we've been in since the Biden administration turned down a deal a few weeks into this war back in 2022. It's very complex, as Donald Trump has said for a few days. But think back, Bo. We didn't even have this on our dance card a week ago. This President Trump works. He puts it together. He straightens it. And all of a sudden, he pulls off a summit in Alaska. First time in 10 years that Vladimir Putin's been on American soil. And it is ironic that it's former Russian soil. I think that you cannot lose that irony. And Donald Trump does these things for a reason. And I don't think this was accidental at all.
Yeah, ye of little faith, beware, right? Don't underestimate him. I think Mike Pompeo said just as much when he was meeting with President Trump and Kim Jong-un. And they met, and a couple minutes later, they said, this guy, we're out of here. We're out of here. And so that could happen today. We pray that that doesn't happen. We pray that doesn't happen. We pray that Vladimir Putin comes in peace, and it's sincere peace. Steve, I want to play a bit of video here of the Russian foreign minister on this topic. Let's roll that clip.
Trump said today that he estimates the chance of failure in the negotiations at 25%. And what is our assessment?
We never make any predictions in advance. We know that we have arguments. We have a clear and understandable position, and we will present it. A lot has already been accomplished here during Stephen Witkoff's visits. The president mentioned this, and Witkoff spoke on behalf of President Trump. I hope that today and tomorrow we will continue this very useful conversation.
So, Steve, Trump says there's about a 25% of failure. Well, that means a 75% of success, I would say. The Russian foreign minister does not like playing FanDuel or craps or blackjack, I suppose, Steve. He says they make no predictions. But what do you make of his assessment and the steps that Steve Witkoff has taken to get us here? Are we at the precipice of real peace?
Potentially. And let me focus on Witkoff for a moment. And let's focus on what the left has said about Witkoff from day one. They call him a rookie. An amateur, a guy out of his depth, a guy that didn't belong in these high-stakes negotiations. Every place that Witkoff has gone around the world, we found peace 7 times over, whether it's in Central Africa or it's India and Pakistan or it's, pick your place, Armenia and Azerbaijan, which happened just last week. Steve Witkoff has been instrumental in all of those negotiations. So for the left, I say again, don't underestimate Donald Trump. Do not underestimate his team. They do their homework. They work really hard. I mean, how many times is Donald Trump in the Oval Office at 5 in the morning? Just about every day. I mean, that Marine is based outside that Oval Office just about every day, 5:30 in the morning. He comes in, he gets work done. He makes things happen. And I want to go back to the fact that a week ago, we didn't even see this on the horizon. This is Donald Trump. And look, this guy is 79 years old. He runs circles around the whole world, Bo. I mean, it is remarkable what he's doing. And he's thinking all the time. And look, failure, is it possible? Sure. But I want to give credit to Witkoff. I want to give credit to Donald Trump for picking him to get all of these important negotiations done, because he has exceeded expectations, certainly of those on the left, who have derided him and considered him, again, a rookie, a guy in over his head. Clearly not true. So that's really important. And here's something else that's on the table today that I haven't heard you mention yet, and we should. Not only are we possibly looking at the end of the war in Ukraine, we're also looking at the possibility of an expanded nuclear arms agreement. That's been mentioned. And that was mentioned by Vladimir Putin on Russian television. Wouldn't that be remarkable? I mean, you look at what Donald Trump has done in 7 different wars around the world. If he can bring the Ukraine war to an end, it is time for the Pulitzer Prize. Stop the games. Stop making the Pulitzer Prize some sort of a virtue signal for those on the left. Donald Trump has earned it. As I recall, Barack Obama solved exactly 0 wars before getting the Nobel Peace Prize. Donald Trump is working on it every day, and in places, I mean, do you really know much about the Republic of the Congo and Rwanda? Most people don't, but he went there and stopped a war. Armenia, Azerbaijan, who knows much about that? Most people don't. Donald Trump went there and stopped a war. This is what he does. He is the most peace-obsessed president of my lifetime. The most peace-obsessed president maybe of the last 100 years.